Most people overpay for gaming mini PCs like this. Here's why the GMKtec K11 is different. I've been testing it for a few weeks now, and honestly, it punches way above its weight for the price. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. First off, the heart of this thing is the AMD Ryzen 98945HS. That's an 8-core, 16-thread beast that can boost up to 5.2 GHz. I ran Cinebench R23 and it hit over 15,000 points in multicore, something I didn't expect from a mini PC this small. I've used this for light video editing in Premiere Pro, and it handled 4K timelines without breaking a sweat. Even with OBS running in the background for streaming, the temps stayed cool thanks to those upgraded dual cooling fans. They call it the Hyper Ice Chamber 2.0, and honestly, it works. I never heard the fans ramp up aggressively, even during long renders. Now, the RAM and storage setup is no joke either. You get 32 GB of DDR5 running at 5600 MHz, which is plenty for gaming, content creation, or even running a few VMs if you're into that. The 1TB PCIe 4.0 SSD is fast, boot times are under 10 seconds, and game load screens feel almost instant. I installed a few AAA titles like Cyberpunk 2077 and Starfield, and they ran at high settings with 60+ FPS at 1440p. Not bad for a machine that fits in the palm of your hand. One thing that really stood out to me was the display support. This thing can run 4 4K monitors at once. I hooked up two 4K TVs via HDMI and a pair of 1440p monitors through DisplayPort, and everything ran smoothly. I used it for a multi-monitor productivity setup, and honestly, it felt like having a full workstation. The dual NIC Intel i226V 2.5 gigabits per second ports were a nice surprise too. I tested file transfers between my NAS and this PC, and I was hitting around 250 megabytes per second, way faster than standard gigabit connections. If you're into networking or just want a reliable home server, this is a solid pick. The UEFI update they mentioned is actually useful. It's not just some minor tweak, it adds better fan curves, more control over power states, and even a few overclocking options if you're into that. I didn't push it too hard, but the ability to switch between performance modes is handy. There's a silent mode for everyday tasks, a balanced mode for general use, and a turbo mode when you need all-out power. I found myself switching between them depending on what I was doing, and it made a noticeable difference in power consumption and noise levels. Now, let's talk about the ports. You've got HDMI, DisplayPort, and two USB 4 ports. The USB 4 is great because it supports high-speed data transfer and even 4K video output. I plugged in an external SSD and was getting read-write speeds over 2000 megabytes per second. That's faster than most NVMe drives inside laptops. The Oculink port is another standout. It's not something you see on every mini PC, but if you ever want to add a high-speed NVMe SSD or even a GPU enclosure, it's there. I didn't test that myself, but it's a future-proofing feature that's worth noting. Wi-Fi 6 and Bluetooth 5.2 are included, and they work well. I streamed 4K video from YouTube without any buffering, and the connection stayed stable even when I was transferring large files. The Bluetooth latency is low enough that I could use a wireless keyboard and mouse without any noticeable lag. So, what don't I like? Well, the RAM is soldered, so you can't upgrade it later. If you need more memory down the line, you're out of luck. Also, while the cooling is good, it's not silent. You'll hear the fans spin up under heavy loads, though it's not obnoxious. And since this is a mini PC, don't expect it to replace a full desktop for extreme gaming or heavy workloads. It's great for what it is, but it's not a beast. All in all, the GMKtec K11 is a fantastic mini PC for the price. It's powerful, versatile, and well built. If you're looking for a compact machine that can handle gaming, productivity, or even light content creation, this is one of the better options out there. The link is below if you want to check it out.